Hi, everyone. I'm Steve. I'm here with Lizette Reyes, who is a personal trainer at Parkway Athletic Club in South Reno. She is actually a master trainer at Parkway Athletic Club. That's our highest ranking personal trainer. So thanks for being here, Liz.
Thank you for inviting me, Steve.
All right. So we're going to talk about, you're over 40. You don't look like it, but I don't look like I'm over 80, and I am. I'm very fit for over 80.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know.
I know, I'm lying.
Amazing.
I am over 60, though. I am over 60.
But you look pretty
So,
good.
uh, so we're going to talk about how to lose weight and kind of coming from a female's perspective. I know you have male and female clients, but this is kind of your specialty. Women that are getting older to get fit and help them get fit. So any of you guys out there watching this, forward this on to your wife. Well, I hope she doesn't get offended. Your wife doesn't get offended by you sending her a how to lose weight video. So I don't know, maybe not. Um, so if you guys are interested in our weight loss program, use the QR code on the screen or there's a link in the description. So, Liz, what is the first thing? Because you're very fit. People can't completely see you, but you're very fit. Now, what is the first tip that you give your clients when they come in, they're overweight or they're struggling, they're 40, they're just starting to hit different hormonal issues as they're getting older? What's the first thing you tell them?
Tell them patience. Be patient. Be patient, be kind and loving with with your body because especially for women, as you said, hormone changes are very big, but the emotional part plays a big role in losing weight, believe it or not. Especially women, we come with this thought that we're getting older and that is very difficult to lose weight. So I say, be loving, kind with your body, and start like a reset of everything you have learned. Because if they are in that point, it's because whatever they did is not working. So we need to start all over again with this mindset.
You know what? I've done a lot of interviews. It's the first time patience has been the first thing that's come up. But, I think you're absolutely right because people go do all these fad diets. They do the Twinkie diet, now the sugar diet. Have you heard of that one? That's the real popular one right now. The sugar diet. That's ridiculous. Um, because what you have to do is you have to change your lifestyle. And I say this all the time on the channel, but you just used a term, patience. You have to change your lifestyle and then you have to be patient. Meaning you have to exercise, you have to eat whole foods, you have to clean up your diet. You have to be patient, not doing something that's going to trick your body and get a bunch of weight off. Because why do that? It's just going to come back, right? The weight's just going to come back. You have to be patient, change your lifestyle, and wait. Because then, as the weight comes off slowly, it's not going to come back, is it?
No, no, because if we have this mindset, we already know, like research, the actual research says that our gut is connected with the brain. So we have like a line that everything we do in nutrition is going to affect our brain. So if we do the changes we're going to talk about next, then what we do is like reprogramming our body to be winner and to keep it all the time because this premenopause stage for women especially and also men go through testosterone changes, but this stage is like open a window to change our like this program that we have in our brain that sets that put us in a certain weight. So we do a diet and we lose weight, but then it's something that is happening that gets back to the same weight we had before. So what we really want to do is reset our body so the needle starts moving and the body gets used to the changes.
Right. And then, because why lose it? Why get fit and feel good and look really good if you're not going to keep it, right?
Yeah, no. And the changes what they make is that they make our happiness hormones to move. And then if you have changes, then these get motivation, and then motivation get to action, and then action gets to your new lifestyle, and so on. You can keep it. But this is like our mid life crisis. It's in everything. So if we do it in a smart way, slow, you can keep it like forever.
You're saying something that I always say. You just said it differently though. What I say is you got to get some wins. You got to get some wins under your belt because then, okay, I lost 5 pounds. Now you have a 5 pound investment. So now you want to work out more. You want to eat better. You want to eat cleaner. You want to improve your diet even more because you have an investment. Then you have a 10 pound loss or better, so many inches off your waist or your hips or whatever you're trying to do. Now you have some momentum. I think that's what you just said, right? Get that
Yeah.
momentum going. And now it gets easier and it gets more fun.
Yeah. 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 And the point is that this needs to be fun to make real changes. Because as the research in behavior for women and for men and for humans says that we need to enjoy in order to have the opportunity to keep it up.
Sure. If you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to keep doing it. And if you don't keep doing it, the weight's going to come back.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to have a big purpose for this. Like in my case, in my experience, my purpose at the beginning was, yes, I want to get healthier because I want quality of life when if I get to 70, 80, my goal is to have quality of life. It's not anymore because I want to look good. Of course, that's going to be a result. But the motivation, the purpose has to be higher than only lose a couple pounds, because then when you really need to hold on something really strong, um, only losing weight in a birthday with a chocolate cake in front, you're going to lose it right away. Or 6 a.m., you need to go and see your personal trainer. No, I just called sick. You're going to lose it. You need to have a soul purpose, something to hold on and say, I want quality of life. I want to be able to play with my child. I want to be able to hike with my husband or my wife. I want to be able to continue traveling. So those are all the real life cases I have with my clients.
Yeah. So that's how you motivate them, huh?
Yes, I always take something in their daily life, like as simple as you want to tie your shoes and be able to do it. So you need to have good mobility, range of motion. You have to think more than losing couple of pounds. How is your life out there? And every exercise just represents every movement in your daily life.
You know, that's so true. It's about every pound of muscle. I tell people every pound of muscle is precious because every pound of muscle you maintain or put on, especially as you age, it kind of goes to what you said earlier. The gut is like your second brain, right? I mean, and if the gut isn't healthy, that's where a lot of these problems start, right?
Yes, yes. Now research here every time shows more and more because the hormones of happiness is produced in our gut. Dopamine, that is the one that take us to the chocolate cake, to continue with the example, is produced in your brain. But the real one, the motivation, the one that's why when we are excited, we feel it in our gut. When we are depressed, we feel it in our gut because we have hormones that are produced in our gut So our nutrition, to put this in like tips. So first, be patient and change your mindset. Yes or yes. Second, your nutrition, the goals. I don't feel and I don't give a message that nutrition is better than exercise, because sometimes nutrition can just change all the time in our life. But if you keep a good level of exercise, you have more chances to eat a little bit better and keep your weight. So that's like a game. But just for this purpose, to have tips in a number. So second, nutrition, whole foods, and have the cleanest diet in this age is like 100% your goal. Must be. There is no more opportunity, like, because our gut changes as we age, our digestive system changes. So many people that is 70, 80, they start not feeling hungry, because the digestive system slows down and sometimes shuts down. So the problem is that we are not eating enough. And not eating enough and eating too much is the same problem. Some people get fat of not eating. Some people is eating too much. So we need to create a balance, a sweet space where you can move. And in nutrition, my 100% advice is protein, because sarcopenia is the loss of muscle mass. And research shows that every 10 years, we lose up to 8-10% of muscle mass. It doesn't even matter if you are weightlifting, is less, but we always gonna lose some muscle mass. So protein intake is like a debt that you need to put on every day. It's not optional. And I tell my clients it's not negotiable. I can negotiate everything, but not protein.
I love it. You sound just like me. If you guys watch the channel, you know I'm always saying that. I am at 162 grams of protein today so far.
Wow.
I eat over 200 grams of protein every day. And the problem is, as you get older, like you said, the appetite goes down.
Mhm.
You got to really focus to get that protein up, because you're not eating as much. And the other problem is, when you're not eating as much, you can't eat the junk calories. So some people get fat because they're eating the wrong food. They're not eating enough, and they're eating the wrong food, and they're certainly not getting enough protein. But I'll tell you, if you just focus on getting your protein up, I always shoot and tell people to shoot. This is what a lot of the fitness influencers are saying: 1 gram of protein per gram of body weight, or pound of body weight, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or desired body weight. So if you weigh 200 and you want to weigh 170, you would eat 170 grams of protein. If you weigh 120 and you want to weigh 160, you'd eat 160 grams of protein. I say, or even more, because I don't weigh 200 pounds, but I ate over 300 grams of protein yesterday. And I pound the amino acids. So I totally agree with you. That is not negotiable. You have to get your protein up, especially as you're aging. And if you can get that protein up to those levels that we're talking about, everything else will fall into place. So you kind of sounded like you kind of have this little system here. You got a 1 and a 2. What's next? What do you tell your clients next? Or so you're helping them with just to be patient, and then to be consistent, and to um, you know, love
Love their body.
themselves, and so um, and eat their diet, but it's not everything. So what's next? What do you coach them on next?
Okay, before I go to the next, for nutrition, I want to do the protein and eat slow. Even if you don't think it's change anything in your diet. I was reading. I love research. I love research, so I'm always reading. And yesterday, I was reading that even if you don't change your diet, but you eat slow, that helps you in 70% of metabolic syndrome. And why is that? Because when you eat slow, you help the digestive system to work less and you get full faster. So you eat less and you're gonna eat less calories.
So that's a gut thing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. So those two for nutrition. And next, of course, exercise. Lifting weights. I know cardio is important. We need to keep our heart strong. But for heart, I say you have to aim for 7,000, 10,000 steps per day. But weightlifting is the new medicine. It's something also, like if I would ever give a message to the world, is lift weights. Because now, before we only have Arnold Schwarzenegger example. Now we have that resistance training helps for dementia, helps to get better in your movement, gut movement, helps for aging. Like if you wanna be really with your skin, your tone, and everything, you don't need to spend in Botox. You just come and get a personal trainer and use it in the gym because you are gonna move. If you move better, you're gonna be stronger. You don't lose that much weight. Then you avoid to fail to use a walker when you get older, to get a surgery, because the problem is that when we are aging, joints start getting, if you're losing muscle, your joints start getting more force, uh, more how do you say, like they're moving
Where?
more.
More where?
Yes, more wear, that's the word. So if you do that, then that's why you start, oh, my hips, my hips hurt, my knee hurts. Of course, because you don't have muscle. So your poor joints are taking all the job. And then you start losing balance, coordination just for walking. We are not talking about any sports. We're talking about walking. You change your pattern, and then when you change that, you fell down. And the problem is not falling down. The problem is that when people fell down and break their hip, or hopefully they don't get surgery, the depression, anxiety, and all that is what causes even death. We're talking about of death when we are older because you change your quality of life. Human beings, we are not made to be dependent of anything. So movement is the answer for almost everything. It's not that expensive that go to the doctor. So I always say my client, if you feel you don't have time to go to come to the gym or the motivation, then take that money and that time, save it, because after you will need to go to the doctor and maybe you have to go to the hospital. So what do you prefer? This is not, I sound a little bit of strong, but this is this is what we need to tell them. It's the truth. I've seen this every day with my clients. So this can be prevented, lifting weights, and start with your body weight. You must do minimum 1 push-up without knees, hopefully 10. You must hang at minimum 2 minutes. You need to be functional, functional. And that's how you keep health.
Such great advice, Liz. You're right. People age, they start to age. And if they just would lift weights, do resistance training, do functional movements, they're going to maintain the muscle. If they maintain the muscle, they maintain their standard of living. And you were talking about as they start to lose muscle, they get more stress on the joints. And
Yeah.
then the bones get brittle. You break a hip and then you fall and you can't get out of a chair. So you don't want to live the last part of your life like that. You don't want to be on using a walker. You want to be strong. You want to be mobile. You want to be able to move around. And when you're strong, it makes a difference. You can catch yourself. You're not going to fall. You can maintain your balance. So weight training is so important. You got, what do you got next? Something else, right?
Sleeping.
Sleeping. Wow, these are good ones.
Sleeping, if you don't sleep well, you show up in the gym and you can do as much as you can. But at night is where every organ is in a regeneration process. Even your muscle. When you are lifting weights, when you come with us, what we're doing literally is destroying your muscles. And at night is where this metabolic process starts and your muscle start growing, repairing and growing. But also your liver, your bladder, your brain, and and it's in certain times. Like for example, liver has between 2 a.m. to 5 is where our liver is taking the process, your lungs. So everything happens at night when you're sleeping. So if you drink alcohol just because you had a stressful day, I understand. But you have to realize that if you drink alcohol at night, then that's going to change all your sleeping cycle. So sleeping is such an important function that we sometimes don't take care of. So yeah, that would be my for
Hmm.
advice.
Yeah, the magic happens at night when we're sleeping, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So important.
You need to aim for 7 to 8 hours. People have different range, but 7 to 8 it's ideally what we need, and always keep up like a routine, because a lot of people after they are aging, they just don't have. I have clients with that problem say, but I cannot sleep, and I say, okay, so you need to start checking. Are you stopping your screens? Because if you are watching you're scrolling with your phone, your brain doesn't know that you're scrolling a phone. He just thinks it's the daylight. So you don't put him in a sleeping mode. So minimum 2 hours you need to stop screen. You need to check your light. Um, they're like meditation, mindset again. Because if we're thinking, everything it comes from the brain.
I don't know. My wife has some, I don't know, some type of blue blockers or something that she puts on. I use them sometimes, like if I'm
Hmm.
watching TV and it starts to get dark, I'll put those on. That
Hmm.
helps, right?
Yeah, yeah, that helps. That helps because yeah, it's like those play a little bit with the brain and give another message like we are night, but we are not. We're still watching TV. But
Right,
yeah.
right. So
Mhm.
you're a lot of these things you're talking about are just habits that if you change these habits and you start doing these good habits, exercise and eating right and all these things, you put them all together, you're going to lose weight, right?
You're gonna lose weight and you're gonna change your life.
It's a
We are
life
not talking about
changer.
life changer because epigenetic, like genetic, we have some things like, for example, diabetes. How do I say
Diuretics?
diabetes?
Diabetics. Yeah.
Diabetes.
Diabetics. Yep. That's
Dia-
bad.
Diabetics is genetic. Like if your father, your mother, or whatever in your family, and you have a chance to have it, but a chance. Now, epigenetic says that only changes your habits, what we're talking about. You can not only not have it, but just avoid the same like the same chronic disease in your body. So it's just about lifestyle, and you're going to lose weight, yes or yes, because then you're reprogramming your cells. Because remember that fat is like a cell, and we have good fat like yellow fat and gray fat and brown fat. So depends on your lifestyle, then the fat start changing like the composition, and then you start mobilizing your metabolism. At the end you're gonna lose weight because it's not a chance that you don't, because to lose weight, you need to eat less, move more. Eat less, move more. And with these tips we gave, that's like 100%. And I can tell you, not only with my clients, but with myself. I was very depressed on December because, and I work in this, and my weight was up, 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 up. And I say, okay, I had this idea of have one of the GLP ones. This say, oh, I'm gonna do it because my hormones. And I asked myself, Liz, are you really, really doing what it's supposed to do in your diet, in your sleeping, and everything? And I talked to myself honestly, and I say no. And I started in January to today. I lost 12 pounds only with this that we're talking, and I can show everybody. I have calendars, and because it's important to have consistency and check-ins. Even if you don't have personal trainer, just take a calendar and say, today I was consistent, and do set little goals and try to accomplish them, because for everybody is different. That's why, like, to have a personal trainer is such an important thing, because we believe that with the influencer we have all the information, but that's not true. We have, like, for my clients, I have to check their lifestyle, because sometimes they have problems, they have stress, and sometimes they cannot eat that much protein because they have liver problems. So I have to deal with, okay, let's try other things, let's go to talk to your doctor. And that's what a personal trainer is important. It's not only because exercise. You can see a good routine in YouTube, but that's not about it. That's about that if you have lower pain, not every exercise is good for you. If you have a shoulder rotator cuff, or you don't have a good scapula mobility, then not every exercise you see in social media fits for you. You need a personal trainer. You need a guide, even if you do it for 3 months. And then I teach. I love to teach. So all my clients know that education for me is a gold standard. Like, they need to know what they're doing. I show them their muscles. Look, you're doing this. This is good for this reason, because they need to have that knowledge.
So being a personal trainer, what you're doing is very personalized. And you can all see why she's a master trainer. At our club, we don't have a lot of master trainers. But if you have questions, put them in the comment section. I'll make sure Liz sees them and we'll get her opinion on it. So, is there anything else in this package that you put into this that is a lifestyle change? What else?
Yeah, being grateful. Gratefulness. It's when you say thank you. I had a challenge 2 months ago that I had my ladies doing, and I always at the end tell them, say thank you to your body, even if you don't like it. Because sometimes I have one client that she had a hip surgery after she fell, and then this hip surgery, something went wrong, and then they pinched their nerve, and then she had a drop foot. So she had many problems after that surgery. So what we do as a human is resent, and I don't like this body. So I always say thank you, because this is energy. We are energy. We listen. Your body listen. If you don't like, or you look at the mirror and say, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly. Why this life? Why is happening? First, really, like, if I take a takeaway, look and start feeling comfortable with your body. And no matter where you are, if you don't accept what you have right now, you cannot transform. If you want to transform your body, if you're losing weight or whatever you want, acceptance, and say thank you. And that moves really the mindset to do whatever you want. the last thing would be, don't try to change 45, 50 years of doing things that are not working, and do them all at the same time. Set up minimum goals. Try to do it for a period of time. 2 weeks. I always work with 2 weeks, 4 weeks. Accomplish it and then go to the next one. Don't try to go that big, because then failure, you're going to take it like, oh, I'm so bad. This is not about you being bad doing changes. It's because you don't have a strategy. And that's why a personal trainer is for you, because you need strategy, you need a method. And then it's not about you, that you are not able to do as I'm doing it. We have the same opportunity. It's just that you don't know how to do it. That's why we exist.
Yeah, that is such good advice. And it's a lot of times we don't talk about that when we're talking about nutrition and exercise, but staying positive, if you don't stay positive, you're poisoning yourself. And unfortunately, you're poisoning the people around you. Come on, who's been around those negative people and you just want to go, get away from me? Because it's poison. But it's makes such a difference when you stay positive and you speak positive. It makes a big difference, because now you're not going to get those overwhelming spikes of cortisol, which is just stress, which makes you sick and ruins your life. So that's great that you brought that up, being positive, and a trainer there to help coach you and guide you and personalize this for you. It's like you have a team. That's exciting.
That's why I'm grateful for this, because personal trainer. I'm from Colombia and I study physical therapists. Like, I've been around fitness and health all my life. And like, people ask me, why are you personal trainer? I said, because when you finish a rehab process, after that, who is taking care of that injury? Most of the times it always come back. You finish 10 sessions in physical therapy, and after what? After, the answer is here in the gym.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose this place, and I'm grateful of helping a lot of clients to recover their life, their quality of life, and their smile. I always say, eat protein, smile, and come and lift weights with us.
Well, we are certainly glad to have you as
Thank
one
you.
of our lead trainers. So, Liz, if people want to follow you on social media, I know you got quite a following. How do they do that? Where do they follow you on social media?
My social media is Liz Fit Real.
Liz Fit
Real.
Real.
Yeah. Liz Fit
That's on
Real.
Instagram and
Instagram, I have YouTube. Now I'm trying to do more English content, but yeah, I speak Spanish, so most of my people speak Spanish. But now that I'm here, my clients are following me, so I hope to have you there. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Come to Parkway. This is the best
yeah. So, hey,
gym.
everybody out there, if you have Spanish speaking friends, forward this on to them, and um, it it helps if you got someone who speaks, two languages. We have a lot of um, trainers that speak different languages, and it really it's surprising how many people will come in and get a trainer who prefer, a different language because it's their native language or whatever. But anyway, Liz, thanks for your input. We'll have to do this again. And you guys know where to follow her on social media now. And thanks for being here.
Thank you, Steve, for the invitation. And yeah, I hope to join you after. And thank you for giving me opportunity to give this message to the world.